Welcome, everyone. My name is Nick Hershey. I'm the president of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a non-delegated correspondent lender that operates a little bit differently. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today so we can go through a little bit about what makes us different and special. And then I'll pass it over to Kyle Hershey, our COO, who will go through an actual live demo of some of the back-end stuff to show you guys what it actually looks like on the back end. And then we'll wrap it up today with Jose Gonzalez, our sales manager with 28 years of experience, putting it all together to close more loans. So let me go ahead and start by sharing my screen here. And hopefully most of you have joined from this page and checked it out, but let me go through line by line and explain a little bit more about what we mean. So as I mentioned, we are a little bit different. We come from a little bit different background. Myself and Kyle, we come from a marketing and advertising background. We're not your traditional bankers. So we're all about approaching it from a little bit different angle. Notice we are all about leads and software. So our proprietary mortgage software, CRM, POS, LOS, all built in together. And then, of course, the big key phrase right now, AI, we have AI built in at every step of the way. So a lot of different tools that we do in order to scale your business up and base that all on leads. So that's one thing that makes us different. Another thing we always want to highlight is we are non-delegated correspondent. You heard me mention that before. And we have our tools to scale your business instantly. So whether that's company leads or self-generated leads, we want to make sure you guys have a full pipeline, especially in this market right now when more of the traditional sources have dried up. We want to make sure everybody has opportunities for new business every day. And we do that with our system, right? So we don't have to rely on you guys generating your own business, which is great. We want to add to your business by giving you a system so that every deal you do creates more deals from that deal. So how do we do that? First off, we'll go over the business model. As I mentioned, we are a non-delegated correspondent, and that is because we have done this business in all the different models. We started as an ad agency for an FDIC bank, built a large team at an FDIC bank, had to take that team to the broker world. And then from broker, we went to non-del and delegated. So we built this team at all the different basically channels that exist. And we found that non-delegated correspondent is the best. And we're approved with over 120 lenders and investors. And what that means is we can broker or do correspondent at any time for our borrowers. What's most important to us is our borrowers and them getting the best deal. Typically, that's going to be with one of our correspondent programs where we have over 5,000 unique loan programs between our 34 correspondent investors we're approved with. That's always going to have the best rates and pricing because correspondent always beats broker pricing because we're funding the loans with our own money, using our own law firms to close the loan, drawing our own docs, all the great stuff. So correspondent rate sheets always beat broker rate sheets at the same lender even. Now, if there's any reason where we can't fund the loan in our own name as our correspondent channel, no problem. We have over 110 wholesale specialty lenders for those special loans. Maybe we can't fund the fix and flip on our own line, right? All the fix and flip would be something we do our specialty loans with. Ground up construction. Maybe there's a niche or a unique program that you need to use. No problem. If there's something better for your borrower, that's most important to us. Make sure you use that outlet. So we have every loan program imaginable from your standard VA, USDA, FHA, Fannie, Freddie, non-QM, DSCR. We all fund in-house with our own money. So that gets our best rates and pricing for our customers. And commercial, mixed use, CDFI, SBA, all that kind of specialty niche stuff. We still want to make sure we have an outlet for that. Typically, that's a wholesale partner outlet. And to top it all off, as I mentioned, AI is a new catchphrase. We call our AI Calvin. So Calvin, the AI loan officer assistant, is there to help you push through every step of the way. He knows a little bit about broker and correspondent and can help guide you in the right direction. Now, the next thing that really puts it all together is our technology. So as I mentioned, myself and Kyle, we come from a technology background. We've built every line of code for what you're about to see, built for us by us. And it all starts with our lead generating website that you're looking at right now. Everybody instantly gets their own website with the AI, POS, CRM, LOS all built in. Software is, again, built for exactly for us, by us. We've written every line of code. And what that really means for you and your customer is one login for you, one login for your customer, no matter which of our 120 plus outlets we're going to use for that loan. So our prospects can instantly flow from just a general name, email, phone number to pulling their own live rates, completing their own 1003, pulling their own credit, pulling their own liabilities, getting that all set up and imported into Encompass without you lifting a finger. And we have our instant rate quote. So basically, if you quote it with our system where we're the lender, we now know what loan you're quoting. So we can automatically requote those as rates rise or fall, or just if you need to update your client every couple of days, that's all automated. So we do that all with our APIs. So we mentioned Encompass. You don't have to use Encompass. We have an API with Encompass. You never have to log into Encompass ever. If you don't need to, you can use the CRM, which controls Encompass. Same thing with Optimal Blue for pricing. We use Optimal Blue for all of our rate quotes, but you don't have to have a login. Same thing with everything here for credit, account check, VOE, VOI, VOA, appraisal works, 5 AMCs, all a click of a button. No logins needed for any of these things. It's all built into one system. No logins needed at all. We also have access to create your custom business cards and flyers instantly. So the instant you get a website, you also get instant custom business cards and flyers. Everything is instant. You can also capture leads from website users, no form required. So this is a unique system. Nobody else has this out there. Basically, if we can find a match for that borrower that's browsing your website, maybe your family member is browsing, maybe they're in the market, they didn't tell you they're in the market. Now you know your uncle was browsing the site. Maybe your uncle is in the market. Now you can contact your uncle to engage them, even though they didn't actually fill out a request for a lead, which is pretty cool. We also have our automated social media posting and lead gen. Again, just plug and play, plug in your Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. We will automatically post every single day with your own custom links to generate more business. We also have our Calvin built into our Oz. So we have our dual Oz, which a lot of companies have, but we have Calvin who analyzes both results side by side and has a proprietary algorithm where he's going to tell you which may or may not be the better deal for your customer. So great tool there to add on to dual Oz. And of course, we have our full-time development staff to build new features. We release new features weekly. And if you guys have any suggestions, you can always suggest new things that may work for the team. Now, trainings and support through all the different business models, especially at FDIC Bank, and then going to all the different business models, we've always found that training and support is lacking, especially as we're embracing this new remote environment. So we're 100% remote. So at any time, you guys can also learn remotely. So you can log into our learning center, our classroom style learning, 24/7, 365, because everybody's remote. So it's all at your fingertips. We also have our daily live trainings you can engage with at different times. So our live mortgage rates podcast we do every morning. We just finished that up for today. We do that every day at 11 a.m. Eastern. We also do our live sales training. Kyle just finished that up, where we talk to our team members and prospective MLOs about different strategies to increase sales. We also do 2 days per week, a deep dive into a loan officer training. Jose's about to do that later tonight on different topics as far as actually getting the loan structured. Then we have our live Zoom support where we have our processors in-house. So again, we're remote, but we're all together, right? So you can pop in, get face-to-face with someone. They can take over your screen, click the buttons you need to click, and show you what to do to get unstuck. And to top it all off, we have our Knowledge Center, where we have not only thousands of articles, videos, tips, tricks from us as a team, but from our partners. So with over 120 partners, they all have tips, tricks, guides, matrices, webinars, all kinds of different resources. So one click, one search can search all of those different resources. And the AI built in here is Calvin Compliance. So we have a separate little AI tool for Calvin Compliance where he has all of the federal and all of the states we're licensed in built in. So you can quickly ask a compliance question. You don't have to wait for compliance in the morning. Anytime, 24/7, 365, Calvin is there to help point you in the right direction for compliance. And the last section here, just things that set us apart, don't necessarily fit into any category. First one, very passionate about myself. I love working with investors. We love to close our DSCR business purpose loans in 44 states without necessarily having to be licensed. So a lot of flexibility there to expand your footprint without necessarily having to get a new license. We have unlimited leads at a 50-50 split. Kyle will show you how that all works in the background, but we want to make it very simple, 50-50 split. And basically, this is a way to automate your lead generation at scale. Remember, like I said, set it and forget it. Connect your Facebook, connect your Twitter, get your website set up, get your flyer set up all instantly in seconds, and set it and forget it. And you're going to generate leads over time, no matter what. And if you already have lead campaigns, no problem. We'll show you how to import those with the webhook. Or if you need them, we'll show you how to set up your own campaigns as well, as far as paid campaigns for yourself. At any time, any of our team members can click a button to refer a loan to a team member. If there's a conflict of interest, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's a state you're not licensed, but it's a client you want to work with, no problem. Click that refer button. That'll go to someone in that state or someone that can help you out in your team. And you can still make great commission there, 75 basis points, working as a partner with your teammate to close the loan in their name. We also have instant payroll available. Obviously, our regular pay is on a regular schedule. But then we have the ability for you guys to request instant payroll, which is pretty cool. And no monthly fees. We are from the marketing and advertising world. We want to be very straightforward, transparent. There are no hidden fees, no monthly fees, no payroll fees, no admin fees, no software fees, no fees of any kind. What you see is exactly what you get. And as Kyle mentioned before we started today, we love to meet our people face to face. We're all remote, but at least once a year, we can all come together at our annual VIP retreat here in Miami, where we get a yacht and all that kind of good stuff, treat you guys. And anybody that's closed a loan on the team will get their hotel room paid for, but we'd love to see everybody face to face regardless. Now here's our replay video. So if you drop off, feel free to check out the replay video here on this page. But let's get into the compensation. So recent update we've done, we're always trying to update our plans, get them more streamlined. And as we build out our different trainings and softwares and support, we're able to open that up for you guys more. So this may be a little bit different than what you've seen before. Best comp in the industry here, our senior loan officers can make 225 basis points. So 225 basis points on conventional and non-QM. That's 2.25% for those not familiar. And again, simple 50-50 split. So a 50-50 split on that would be 112.5 basis points for conventional non-QM if it's a company lead, no matter where that company lead comes from. Kyle will show you how that works in a second here. Now, our senior loan officers obviously get everything everybody else does, but to top it all off, they are able to do broker or correspondent at the drop of a hat, depending on what's best for their customer. So they're going to take all the trainings, they're going to have access to all the channels, all the lenders, everything, and they'll be able to do what's best for their client at any time. They will also be receiving referral leads from our loan officers. So these aren't leads, these are referrals, right? So if you, you have a conflict of interest, maybe you're doing your spouse's loan, you're going to refer that to a senior loan officer. They're going to get you as the spouse, right? The person that referred the deal to help, and they're going to get a client. So it's not just a cold call. It is a lead that comes with a teammate as well. And obviously they'll have access to all the general leads at a 50-50 split, no restrictions whatsoever. And we love to give back as well. So anybody that's rocking and rolling, 25 basis points additional for any volume over 2 million for those that are rocking and rolling. So we can get as much back to you as we can. And for those that love to teach and wants to earn more, you can upgrade to a team leader and earn an extra 25 basis points, helping your team members structure their files and most importantly, disclose their files. So a lot of great opportunities for those that are experienced. Now, for those that are just starting or maybe not quite experienced, no problem. We can start with a new loan officer. This would be the plan for you. As you're taking your trainings to upgrade to senior, taking all the correspondent trainings, you'll be able to broker loans as a loan officer. So 150 basis points. That's on conventional non-QM. That's 1.5%. And again, simple 50-50 split. So take any company leads while you're working on your senior test. That's 75 basis points on company leads for conventional and non-QM. Now, our people can instantly start brokering with 110 plus lenders. It does take a little bit of skill, knowledge, and obviously learning to do correspondent. So you can instantly start brokering, no problem. That's a lot easier. You still get access to the free website we're going to go over, all the cool tools we have, all the cool Calvin AI LO assistant tools that we have, unlimited leads at a 50-50 split. Kyle will show you how that works, but it's important to just know that no matter where you grab them from, there's hundreds of different ways. It's a simple 50-50 split. And again, at any time, if you're uncomfortable, maybe you're new, maybe you haven't done this type of loan before, or any conflict of interest, click that button, refer that deal to your senior LO teammates that know exactly what to do, exactly what button to press, exactly when. And we are licensed in 23 states for primary and second homes. And as you saw before, we have 44 for DSCR, so 21 additional states you can do business purpose DSCR loans without necessarily having to get a license. So great opportunity to expand there. So that's how our plans work. To upgrade from loan officer to senior, you're going to have to take trainings and courses and obviously have experience closing loans, which it really takes to be a correspondent and disclose your own files and all that kind of good stuff. So these are separated from when you're ready. Go ahead and take the additional courses and you can upgrade from loan officer to senior loan officer once you show us that you know what you're doing and you have that experience level to get those deals done. So that's the basics for our compensation. So let's go ahead and pass it over to Kyle, who can show a little bit more of the back end, and it'll make a little more sense putting it all together here. So you ready, Kyle?
Yep, absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. So we'll go over this in full, right, when you come on board. but just want to show a couple features here of our system on the back end. So this is our CRM, similar to any other CRM. You take your notes and send your emails and texts. They all pile up here so you can see the history. You can search the history. You can use our Calvin AI assistant to actually type out your emails and text for you with the click of a button here. So definitely, a cool CRM here, set reminder tasks for yourself, put people on action plans, drip campaigns to automatically text them an email from you automatically over the course of time. So same features as any other CRM has, but what really starts to set our system apart is our quoting system. So you can enter a few pieces of information here without pulling the client's credit or anything. Click one button, it'll pull up all the different rate sheets from all of our different investors, and you can select the rates you want to show your client. Within 2 minutes, you can pop out a quote for your client. It sends them an email and a text with a nice, pretty quote that looks like this, where they can see what these things mean. Excuse me. They can see what these things mean when they scroll over them. They can see the Google map pulls in automatically, the Zestimate pulls in automatically, the proposed loan info is in here. It automatically does the breakdown of the taxes and insurance and HOA fees, has the estimated lender fees, and then of course, has you here as the loan originator. And also you can add your realtors to these quotes. So your realtor partners, they absolutely love this because they know when they send you a client, not only can you quote them within minutes with this cool quoting system, but you also are attaching the realtor to it. So you're showing their client, hey, we are your team that's pushing this deal across the finish line. I promise once you start quoting your realtor's clients and attaching the realtor to it, they're not going to want anybody else to work with their clients. They're going to want to be using that integrated system with them integrated into it, right? Now, the coolest part about all of this is they can click Start My Loan Application right here. When they click Start My Loan Application, it pops them into their borrower portal, which looks like this, where they can start their loan application immediately. The full 1003 is in here. They don't have to leave the page. It's going to ask them for the basic documents we're going to need for that loan. It's going to show them their loan info, the milestone of where their loan is at, which of course automatically updates as you go through the milestones on the back end. And they can also communicate with you through here as well. So that is the borrower's portal. Now, let me show you what this looks like on your end here. Now that they've started their loan, notice that this says 100% complete. That's why this is green. This means that this borrower has submitted their full 1003 application. You can see their documents in here and you can help them upload documents. You can request new documents with the click of a button. So whether it's you or your processor, you can say, hey, I need a copy of the lease, save changes. Now it's going to be asking the client for a copy of the lease. You can notify them automatically. And, that way you can gather any documents that you need. You can also request entire packets of documents. You can request signatures. For example, you can request a signature and it's going to pop up in the borrower's portal. They can sign it right there with one click. They don't have to leave the page. So again, everything is built in, even the e-sign, where nobody has to leave this system. You can request custom document types, all that kind of good stuff. Now, once your client has submitted their full application, we pull the credit instantly and automatically. So what will happen is they're going to agree to the credit check when they submit their application. We're going to pull their credit. We pay for the credit check up front, right? Your client doesn't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it up front. We pay for it up front. And that way, when you open our Encompass field here, our Encompass API, like Nick said, you don't have to log into Encompass. You're doing it here through our system. So when you open up our Encompass API, the entire 1003 is already going to be in here. The credit is already going to be in here. The liabilities are already going to be in here, right? So everything is already inside the system for you. By the time they actually submit, right? Then you already have everything in the system. And then one thing to highlight here, as Nick was talking about our dual Oz, You can order DO and LP, you know, Fannie, Freddie, automated underwriting with one click. It compares them side by side. Our AI Calvin analyzes them and is going to tell you which one may be the best for your borrower and why, depending on the scenario and details, right? So super cool there. Once they fill out their application, it's already in here for you. 1003 is in here, credit is in here, liabilities are in here, everything is ready to go for you to originate the loan. Now, while you are in the process of doing the loan, we have our Calvin AI assistant here. You can automatically, you know, order VOE, VOI, VOA, you know, request title, file COCs, all that kind of stuff here, and have our AI assistant help you do that. And of course, you'll be assigned a processor as well on that file. And once you're originating the loan and it's in underwriting, if we scroll down here, you'll notice we have our underwriter conditions right here. And so you'll receive an email saying, here's your conditions. You come in here, you see all your conditions, and you can either upload a document to fulfill the condition. You could dispute the condition and kick it back to the underwriter if you're disputing it. So everything is all in this system. Notice from start to finish, from getting them as a name, email, phone number, to communicating with them in the CRM, to quoting them in the CRM, to collecting their 1003, their documents, pulling their credit, originating the loan in Encompass, fulfilling the underwriting conditions. Every single thing is all here in one system from start to finish. So now let's talk about how these leads are coming in the first place, right? Where are these deals coming from? Now that we talked about how they flow through the system. Well, first and foremost, they're coming from our ad campaigns. As Nick said, we come from the ad agency world, so lead generation is what we do. And so what's going to happen is you're going to get leads sent to you via text all day from our ad campaigns. Now, let me show you. Here's just a little snippet of the past hour of all of the leads that I've received to my test account here. Notice we have fix and flip lead come through, a purchase lead, national business purpose DSCR. So again, these are coming in real time, you know, all day, where you can claim these leads and give them a call. So those are the instant, hot, fresh leads that are coming in from our ad campaigns. Now, another way that we provide you leads is in our auto dialer. So we have an auto dialer just like any other auto dialer. You can call 300, 400, 500 people in a day. You can press, if they don't answer, you press one button, it automatically sends them a text and email from your email on your behalf saying, hey, just called about your purchase or your refi. Whatever it is, it automatically does all of that. So you can call hundreds of people in a day, drop an auto text and emails to them, and we provide you the leads in here. So we have thousands of leads in here, everything from, you see, foreign nationals, we have bank statement leads in here, we have realtor leads in here, we have DSCR leads in here, regular purchase leads. Again, we have lists of realtors you can call, and then we have cold call lists in here if you run out of any other leads. So there's thousands of leads to call. There's always leads to call in here. And even if you run out of every lead somehow, there's still cold call lists in there for you to do, and calls of realtors for you to build relationships with realtors. So there's always leads to call in the auto dialer. Now, another way that you can work leads in our system here is that you can purchase an advertising campaign. We can copy our ad campaign that we've proven out, right? We know our leads work. That's what our business model is based on. So we can copy the ad campaigns that we know work, and we can just put your budget on it, right? So if you want more leads and you don't want to pay a lead split on them, right? So we're going to give you leads for free all day, but it's at a 50-50 split. You could also purchase your own campaign to get even more leads than what we're giving you, and those will not have a lead split on it. So those are tracked, they go to you, there is no lead split on them. So that is an opportunity as well for you to not only get more leads, but not pay a lead split on those leads that you get. Another way that you can work leads in our system is you can import leads. So we give you your custom webhook here. You can just copy this and paste it. We give you the instructions here as well. So if you're already buying leads from, let's say, Zillow or Free Rate Update or something like that, you're already buying leads from another legitimate lead source, you can use your webhook to bring them in instantly and automatically into our system. So let's say you buy leads from Free Rate Update, copy and paste the link. We have the instructions to put it into your settings on Free Rate Update. And then every lead that comes in from Free Rate Update is automatically dumped into our CRM instantly and automatically. You're sent a text and an email saying, hey, you have a new Free Rate Update lead, click here, and it's already in our CRM. So you can call them and quote them and do everything like any other lead. So whether they're leads we're providing you for free, or whether they're leads that are coming in from a campaign that you purchased or a campaign you purchased from elsewhere, they're all going to come in the same way instantly in your CRM, so they can be treated the same. And then of course we have plenty of leads there in the auto dialer for you as well. So any way that there is possible to work leads, we provide that here in our system. So now I want to go ahead and turn it over to Jose. Jose Gonzalez, our sales manager with 28 years of experience as both a loan officer and a realtor, is going to talk about some of the support we provide here and how this all comes together to actually close loans. So go ahead, Jose.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. So you've heard about the great leads and the great technology. So how do we bring this together at the mortgage calculator to make sure that you have closed loans, right? It is what ties it on together. The intertwining thread is the support that we provide, right? We don't want you spinning your wheels from the onset. So you heard about the knowledge center, you heard about the Zoom room. That is all supplemented by our team leaders and management and all the mentorship that we provide. We want to make sure that you know how to use the technology. We want to make sure that you understand the almost 5,000 different loan product combinations that we have. And that all is tied in with, again, the support that we give. As soon as a loan application comes in, is submitted for one of your deals, you get an email, your team leader gets an email, and management gets an email. And you can believe that we are all immediately sending an email, replying to that email with structure. We're going to break it down, credit, income, assets, property for you, give you some quick pointers, and then remind you to book that meeting as soon as possible with your team leader to go over the structure of that application. We even include the link to book the meeting on your team leader's calendar. So we make it real easy for you to book that meeting, get the structure assistance that you need, right? You also have processors, right? We have our in-house processors for all of our non-delegated loans where we are the lender. On brokered loans, you have the option to use third-party processing if you want, or you can self-process the loan if you feel that you're up to it. We give you that option. But know that on our non-del, which is what we love to do here, we are lenders that also allow you to operate in the broker channel. We do have our in-house processing that you will be able to meet with them, go over your loan as soon as it's assigned to you, have a meeting of the minds with your processor, and then go off to structure your deal, whatever you may need to do. Now, you don't get assigned a processor until the file is disclosed. Let me back up. But when you're getting that loan application submitted, you will meet with your team leader. And to give you an example, for example, we had one of our newly minted MLOs. She received, as part of her leads plan, a lead for I think it was $1,056,000 loan amount request on I think it was like a $1.5 million purchase. Now the catch here is that loan had already been denied at another outlet, right? That lead came to us at the mortgage calculator, but we did not handle the original submission that was denied. So the MLO got the application and she did as she was supposed to do. She reached out, booked a structure meeting. In her case, I was her team leader. We went over the deal. She showed up at the meeting, basically trying to rehash what had already been done. This deal had already been turned down as a full doc deal. She was trying to review, going over tax returns with me, trying to go over that route, possibly contemplating bank statements. But when we looked at the tax returns, and on top of that, when we looked at the bank statements, the customer only had like 5 deposits in the whole year. Each deposit was over $200,000. And the customer had already stated that he was not able to document those deposits. So obviously, bank statement was not going to be the route to go. We ended up going with profit and loss. Gave her the roadmap on what she needed to obtain from the borrower and the commitment she needed to obtain from the borrower. You know, you got an accountant that's going to assist you and all that kind of good stuff. And we were able to close that very difficult profit and loss loan in a little bit over 3 weeks. And may I add that that loan had also the additional requirement of transferring the appraisal. That's like the buyer said, if that doesn't happen, I'm not interested, because he had a very favorable appraisal and he didn't want to take the chance of having the appraisal come in lower. So we were able to close that loan with the appraisal transfer, P&L, a little bit over 3 weeks. It was full comp for that MLO. She made her full 1.5% of $1,056,000. So roughly she had a $16,000 paycheck. So, I mean, that's just one of the ways that we assist, and we have many, many stories like that. But the other thing is to note how with our technology, with our training, with our support, all the different ways that we have, we can get MLOs that have been, for example, used to being an application taker, working just agency loans, very limited footprint, never worked leads before, right? They just sort of were winging it. And we can basically plug them into our system. And with the amazing technology and with the great leads and support and with the footprint that we have, where we're licensed in 24 states, and we also can lend business purpose loans in an additional 20 states. So, you know, we have 44 states that you can lend in. That's a really big footprint, right? And if you weren't doing these types of loans before, we will give you the support to help you structure these loans and get more business, close more deals. I mean, that's the reason why most of you are probably on this webinar. You're at another shop right now. You want to increase your production. You saw what we're doing and you want to see what we're about. And that's exactly what we're about. We're about either getting experienced MLOs that may not have that experience in non-QM, or experienced MLOs that may not be doing leads, or whatever your combination may be. But you can step right into the mortgage calculator and we will give you the tools, training, and support to have you closing and producing as soon as possible. So really looking forward to helping you structure your deals and having you be a profitable member of our team.
All right, thank you, Jose. So I'm going to share one last thing, then we're going to open it up to questions. So let's talk about the next steps. Nick, if you could drop the link there in the chat for me, we'll drop the sign up link in the chat. When you are ready to move forward, you're going to go to the mortgagecalculator.com/join, and Nick's putting the link in the chat there, and you're going to apply here. Keep in mind that everyone is going to be a loan officer when they first come on, right? So even if you're experienced, you're on the loan officer plan until you pass the senior loan officer test, right? So everybody's going to come on this plan. Once you're done taking all your trainings, then you will be sent the senior agreement, right? So everybody's going to come on, go ahead and apply. It's going to take you to fill out some basic information. Then it's going to take you to sign the compensation agreement. Now, you don't have to sign the agreement right then. It's going to send you an email with a copy of it. So take your time, look it over. But once you do sign that initial agreement, that's what kicks off all of the next steps. We'll reach out to have you complete the next steps of getting your employment documents, your IDs, sponsoring your license, and all that kind of good stuff. So first step, the mortgagecalculator.com/join. Go ahead and sign up, and it's going to take you to sign that contract. Once you do sign that initial agreement, that will kick off all of the next steps. With that being said, let's go ahead and stop recording here, Nick, and we can